This next one is one of a trilogy of songs on the album about members of my family tree back through the ages. This is about my maternal grandfather. He came to Sydney as a musician. He grew up in country New South Wales, in Wellington, and he somehow, from that place, working for the local blacksmith, got himself into the Conservatorium of Music and came to Sydney. And he joined the police band when he graduated, which I think was probably the only employment going for a musician in those days. And he was a French horn player. So he, and I don't know what it's like these days, but in those days the band were all spread around the different stations, working as basically just general duties cops. And then on Anzac Day or whatever, when they needed the band, they'd drag them all together. So he was the desk sergeant at Darlinghurst. So life didn't quite turn out the way he'd planned, I think. But my mother's father was a music man. I loved to hear him play. Only he was still around if he was here today. As a farm boy in Wellington, he walked 6 miles to school. Said police work is all I can do. I never went to high school. He spent his teens doing heavier work, playing music when he could, till he won a scholarship to the con, and he came down to play the horn. Caught the train to Sydney town, and down his boarding house. Joined the police for the steady work, and for the marching band. He wrote out arrangements, each player's part at the table in the dining room. But most of the time he did the work that coppers have to do. Called to a pub brawl late one night, with some fool behind the door. His lips were cut when the bottle struck, played the horn no more. But he still had the piano. They'd sit and listen for hours. Waltzes, concertos and old-time jazz, they're all the same to him. I'm told that he was built like me, but we never stood side by side. I thought that he was a giant, looking up at him as a child. Yeah, my mother's father was a music man. I wish he was here today, 'cause it would mean so much to me if he could hear me play.